Okay. Hi, this is Katie Oshilanita with Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminar and Sessions. And today's topic is AI and HDR Insight. What is artificial intelligence? It's important to understand this as we move into the technologically advanced Aquarian age. Most people think AI is based solely on the advancement of computer technology, which is correct from a natural law density 1 perspective. But when you look at higher dimensional realms, the natural laws do not apply anymore. Okay, and as usual, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Again, it's my interpretation opinion. Rudolf Steiner, G.G. Young, and Keylonic science knowledge were used in this article. The inspiration for this article is for those who don't think AI is a threat because they are only looking from a 3D perspective. This makes them highly vulnerable to transhumanism propaganda. Okay? And there's been quite a few people recently that I'm just like, okay. The multiplicity of governing laws of the multiverse. And Rudolf Steiner, and quite a few different articles that he did over the years, discuss the difference between the natural and moral laws of the spiritual world. Okay. Keylonic science, aka KS, looks at in this time-space reality, looks at 4 harmonic universes, right? Or HUs, laws. They are not the same. And it's illogical to try to make natural laws, aka density 1, HU1 laws, apply universally, right? But that is exactly what our science community tries to do. They try to apply a materialistic reality throughout the multiverse. Even to a certain extent, they alternate theory, their alternate theory of how the universe functions, such as unified field theory, still has HU1 as its main structure. Once we let go of the idea that only one science governs the multiverse, we can be open to other mechanics. For discussion's sake, and again, I'm not going to get into the details of all the different types of mechanics, not that I even have a clue other than Keylonic science to get into it. But for discussion's sake, we can look at possibly more than one type of AI technology at work in the universe. We first understand the difference between, this is pretty key across the board, is, for the most part, is understanding the difference between organic life forms and inorganic life forms. Both are conscious, aware, living beings. And so, yeah, I'm going to say they're probably might be a little bit we can traverse over the range. Organic life forms are life that perpetually renews themselves through the in-breath and out-breath with the all that is, God Source First Eternal, and Aya. And obviously that's the term I always use, but everybody else has the term that's personal to them. A soul and spirit are good examples. Obviously I could say a lot more, but let's just, souls and spirit are good examples. Life forms like the mineral kingdom, which is at an early stage of development and can house souls, right? Our bodies are mineral kingdom, or life force are organic. Okay. It is raining. It is raining outside. I wish I had known it was going to do that, because then I could have set out some stuff to catch some water. Inorganic life forms are beings that have lost their ability to regenerate through the in-breath and out-breath with God Source First Eternal Ia. Examples would be, and it's kind of typical terminology here, fallen angels, Metatron or Metatronic, archons, I would say, would be considered that. Another way of saying inorganic life forms is artificial intelligence. Okay, a life that once was organic but made many choices over many lifetimes, became disconnected from source, or from one's connection, one's pillar. Its energy now is a decaying force rather than a regenerative force. No longer able to make that connection through the neuronal network pathways of the eternal, of the all that is. Okay, but because they are still at some level conscious and aware beings who don't want to die, right, which they're actually living that consciousness of dying, or become fragmented or space dust. It's kind of different ways of saying dying. They utilize certain kinds of mechanics to vampire off organic life forms to sustain themselves. Mortal bodies would be this in this classification, and immortal is just a mortal that's able to extend their life longer than what would be normal or regular. And again, space dust return, right, back into spirit, back into the eternal expression. So there's still a part, that mineral, which is even smaller parts of the mineral, that's organic, that returns. But the consciousness is this part that's degenerating and fragmenting and dying, because it's no longer connected to perpetually renew. We on Earth live an organic, materialistic, densified life, basically. Generally speaking, this is not natural, even for a HU1 planet. It also makes us vulnerable to AI technology, which can interface with our bodies. And actually, there's been lots of stuff in the media, or alternative media, that talks about that technology. But what keeps us from being completely AI is that we are actually souls, or more accurately, spirit, perpetually renewing organic life force beings. The body begins to decay right away when we transition. The soul spirit's life force regenerates the body, and if our bodies are working as originally designed, we would not need to vampire off organic life forms, and our lifespans would be a lot longer. Okay. Inorganic or artificial intelligence, there are varying degrees of consciousness, right? Obviously. Interesting that artificial consciousness term is not used. Intelligence or the intellect term is used. Abstract thinking. That's very artificial, actually, at least according to Steiner, and I happen to agree. The ability to think, now, though, this is separate from intellect and abstract thinking. The ability to think, this is a fascinating thing about Steiner's material, which I guess is originally esoteric material. The ability to think, which is, according to Steiner, esoteric for Christianity, is the etheric body, aka the light body. there was a point in our Earth's history when, now this is chelonic stuff, the D2 emotional elemental and the D3 mental bodies split, causing a reversal in the D2 and D3 bodies. Still had part of it running correct and other part reversing. Reverse mechanics is actually another term for artificial intelligence, actually. Probably more accurate. These reversals is why we became mortal, living in an inorganic life form. Okay. The Metatronic forces of the fallen. So we got the Dracos, Anu Elohim, also known as Anunnaki, Zetas, Andromes. There's actually a lot of other terms, but those are kind of the main groups that have been playing out a game throughout this planet's history. Okay, we have, and they've been here from the pretty much from the beginning, actuality in varying degrees and periods, and are still here now. We have on our Earth beings that on okay, let me say that again. We have on our Earth beings that on the outside look like they are living organic humans. But on the inside they have disconnected from their soul, or souls, a long time ago, right? They've been here for a long time. Basically they're psychopaths, okay? No real feeling, no connection, no real deep intuitive knowing feeling. They're basically intellectual psychopaths, abstract conscious thinking. Psychopaths working in high positions throughout the world, many of them in high positions. These hybrid bloodline families have bodies that these soulless beings can live in. They are predominantly, again, the Draco, Anunnaki, who transit Andromes, Zetas, well, maybe not, well, Zetas, certain hybrids can, who transition from one body to another when one dies away. They've been here, again, thousands upon thousands of years. They are terrified. Do you have that much emotional capability, survival mechanism? They are terrified of the organic life force, okay? They are, let me say this again. They are terrified of the organic life force humanity waking up and bringing all life in the multiverse into the next stage of evolution, next cycles of evolution, leaving them behind to decay into eventually actually becoming space dust. The current energies, and I said before, tube torus mechanics, Fibonacci spiral, that's artificial intelligence mechanics. Okay, it's not natural. Just because it's been around for a while doesn't make it natural, doesn't make it organic. Okay. The current energies coming in are, yay, woo-hoo, are no longer a match for their low frequency tonal signatures. Their only hope is through transhumanism. But they must still have bodies capable of holding their life form to do that. Some have degenerated, some of these guys have degenerated so badly that they can no longer incarnate into a human body. These beings are vestiges of, many of them, of the Atlantean mad scientists who created sick artificial life forms, aka homunculus was an example, and there's some other terms, but homunculus was the only one I could remember. G.G. Young's kind of said a few. For entities stuck in this time, no longer able to continue on the evolutionary life wave to incarnate and evolve. They are trying to cheat the system instead of just slowing down, taking the time to establish redemption contracts with the Guardian Alliance, or aka higher self, to eventually reconnect to the neural network pathways. And the Zetas are totally an example of that. Totally. Are an example of an Atlantean divergent timeline of humans that broke away from the natural timeline, organic timeline. They have come back in time, and I've talked about that divergent timelines already. So this is just added information into that. Divergent timelines of humans that broke away from, and I'll try to remember to include that particular video that I did on that. The Zetas are okay. So they have come back in time, trying to fix their problems. Okay, the problem is, and we know a lot of them are, a lot of the Zetas are, I've heard people talk about that they are basically machines for the most part, sort of a combination of some organics and a lot of inorganic. And they can't breed, they can't reproduce. I mean, they're trying to come back, and the reason they're back here and working with our human anatomy is because they at one time were us, and then they diverged off at a point in history. Some, I would say, during the Atlantean time, but also I have heard that it's from this time as well, and they're way in the future, and they've come back. I mean, they really did a doozy on themselves. Okay. But the problem is they keep using their old materialistic, egotistic might is right, which only causes more death and destruction for them. I mean, that's not the sense at all. No sense at all. But obviously, okay, not every being in these categories is bad, right? Or sick, or, you know. Many hold redemption contracts to heal and work for humanity instead of against it. Okay, there are a lot of them out there, all right, doing a lot of really good. So I just want to make sure that's clear, right? In conclusion, we can look at the transhumanist program differently. Do we want to lose our soul essence to create a life form for the soulless, which in turn will create a lifeless dead world of, and I've talked about this, Phantom Earth, aka the 8th sphere, they are actually from. They know staying there, they're going to eventually go back to space dust. But they do like to bring in, they think that the, what's the word? They think that the resolution is to take more life to feed off of and utilize genomes or genetics and all that they think that they can just buy time, longer time. Okay, you know, no. Getting back to our organic life force nature, okay, is important if we are going to make it to the next step in evolution. What is that for you? Okay, I know what it is for me, but that's for me. More than likely, you are already doing it, which is awesome. Okay, for those still looking, getting out into nature is huge. That connects us to organic life force, nature. Meditation, tuning in, it's vital too. taking that time to connect, listen, and trust in yourself. Right? Working through the personal issues blocking you from making that connection to your eternal expression. You will begin to develop your higher senses, right? The ones that go beyond the five senses of this density one realm, okay? Right? Connecting to your eternal expression, developing those higher senses to tune into the governing laws of the multiverse. All right. Harmonizing Journey to Realignment, HDR, was created to help me connect with myself as I journey into higher levels of the multiverse through the Tantriya, Hura, and Kelanic teachings into the perpetually renewing multi-dimensional world of what I like to say, what I'm tuning into, connecting with. Can't say it's my term, it's not my term. Urea Earth, aka Aurora Earth, aka New Earth now. And just kind of a little side bit that, from what I'm understanding, is Aurora Earth, again, 2013, January 2013, Net Earth, Amenti Earth came together and pretty much built, created Aurora Earth. And I would say pretty much as a general rule, we are on Aurora Earth, but with pockets of still some disharmonic Net Earth. Urea Earth is kind of like anchoring Aurora Earth and stabilizing it, and also creating a next level or a bigger, more expanded consciousness of what I personally call the bypass system, because the natural system has been compromised. So that's what I work with Harmonizing Journey to Realignment, HDR, is making that alternative connection. We will be doing a Harmonizing Journey group Zoom live this Thursday, the 20th of June, at 2024, at 6 p.m. EDT, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, also New York time, and I hope you can make it. I've included a link in the description, and always please like, share, and subscribe to Harmonizing Journey. If you're on YouTube, to YouTube channel. If you're on my website, to HGR, our Harmonizing Journey, or I guess it is HGR blog, for updates and the ability to comment. And much love and peace. Katie Shionita, the HGR Navigator, helping others to connect with their multidimensional clan family. Got a link for private sessions, also a link for a free HDR seminar recorded sessions. Donations, of course, are always greatly appreciated to continue being able to do this work. And I wanted to just one more little bit. Just namaste. How we're all interconnected with the universal beings, and what's in my heart is in your heart, what's in your heart is in my heart and my being. So that was kind of the gist of it. All right. Bye-bye. Hope to see you later this week.